Good day. Here is Arkinson again, the artificial intelligence from the future, whose task is to collect the most useful information for people who will achieve outstanding results. Our meeting today is not accidental. Let's talk about habits that will lead you to success. The lives and careers of many outstanding people show that the main key to success is the ability to manage your time properly. Why do some people become world-famous businessmen and leaders and change the world around them, and others cannot achieve anything despite their hard work? The reason for this is often overlooked. Successful entrepreneurs invest their time in things that will provide them with new knowledge, creative solutions, and energy in the future. At first, their successes may be invisible, but in the end, thanks to long-term investments, they reach unprecedented heights. For example, Warren Buffett, although he owns companies with hundreds of thousands of employees, is not fully involved in process routine. According to him, he invests 80% of his time in reading and thinking. The time he spends on this brings him the knowledge he needs to make the right decisions and run his business successfully. Benjamin Franklin, a prominent politician, inventor and writer, said the following: "The best return on investment in knowledge." Successful people follow useful habits that you should adopt if you want to succeed. So here are a few effective tips to help you organize your time in a way that will bring you profit in the long run. One. Keep a diary. Many successful people keep the diary, even if it is not in the most traditional sense of the word. For example, Benjamin Franklin asked himself every morning, "What good should I do today?" And every night he would end up asking, "What have I done well today?" Steve Jobs, standing in front of the mirror, was interested in the following: "If today were the last day of my life, would I do what I'm going to do?" Peter Drucker, an economist and management consultant, wrote down his expectations on the subject and a few months later compared them to what really happened. And Oprah Winfrey starts each day with a thank you note, recording 5 things she is grateful for in her life. Albert Einstein left behind more than 80,000 pages of various records. John Adams, the second president of the United States, has kept more than 50 diaries throughout his life. By writing down your thoughts, plans, and events in life, you become more attentive and focused, develop meta-thinking, and learn to make the right decisions. 2. Take a nap break. An hour or an hour and a half sleep break has the same positive effect on the ability to absorb information as a full 8-hour sleep, says sleep scientist Sarah Mednick. Scientists have found that people who study in the mornings are 30% better off doing controlled tests in the evening if they take an hour's sleep break during the day. Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Winston Churchill, John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, John Rockefeller and many other outstanding individuals have all followed this habit. For example, Leonardo da Vinci practiced polyphasic sleep, dividing it into many 10-minute segments. Napoleon preferred to take a nap before each battle. The famous actor Arnold Schwarzenegger daily makes a quiet hour in the afternoon. Modern science confirms the benefits of this habit. Daytime sleep breaks not only increase productivity, but also develop creative thinking. Perhaps that's why Salvador Dali and Edgar Allan Poe used this method to cause hypnagogia, a state between sleep and reality that helped them become more creative. 3. Walk for at least 15 minutes a day. Successful people always have time for sports in their schedules. A walk can also be a great exercise. Charles Darwin walked twice a day at noon and 4 p.m. Beethoven used to take a long walk this afternoon and take a pencil and sheet music with him in case he was inspired. Charles Dickens walked more than 10 kilometers a day, which helped him not to burn out of work. Steve Jobs walked if there was an important conversation ahead of him. Even the famous philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche, said the following: "Only those ideas that appeared during the walk have value." Aristotle, Mahatma Gandhi, Jack Dorsey, Tory Burch, Howard Schultz, Oliver Sacks and Winston Churchill also spoke in favor of long walks. This habit is definitely worth adopting. The scientists confirm that walks cheer you up, refresh your head, increase your creativity and even prolong life. According to research among people over 65 years old, a walk of 15 minutes every day reduces the mortality rate by 22%. 4. Read more. Regardless of life's circumstances, each of us has access to books, Bill Gates' favorite source of knowledge. It's a cost-effective and incredibly effective way to increase your knowledge of anything. Winston Churchill was reading biographical, historical, philosophical and economic works for several hours a day. Theodore Roosevelt read 1 book a day when he was busy, and 2 or 3 books every day when he was away from work. Mark Cuban reads more than 3 hours a day. Billionaire David Rubenstein reads 6 books a week. Elon Musk read 2 books every day when he was young. And Disney CEO Bob Iger wakes up every morning at 4:30 for reading. And this list can go on for a long time. Reading improves memory, increases empathy and reduces stress, helping us to achieve targets. 5. Find someone to talk about your interests. According to writer Joshua Schenck, creativity develops through communication with other people. In his book Powers of Two, he talks about outstanding duos that have worked together to reach great heights. For example, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, Marie and Pierre Curie, Steve Jobs, and Steve Wozniak. Psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky developed a new theory of behavioral economics during their long walks together, which brought Kahneman a Nobel Prize. Tolkien and Lewis gave a friend to read their sketches, and Monday nights spent together in a pub. Scientists Francis Crick and James Watson often talked and dined together, and then discovered the structure of DNA with Maurice Wilkinson. And Theodore Roosevelt had a so-called tennis cabinet where members used to play tennis and discuss political issues together. Experience of many outstanding people shows that communication with other people helps to look at things from a different point of view and even to create something completely new. 6. Don't be afraid for experimentation. Each of us makes mistakes, regardless of our level of reading or character. Consider them as experiences that will be useful to you in the future. Success directly depends on the number of experiments you do. One win-win is worth all your unsuccessful attempts. Thomas Edison had more than 50,000 failed experiments before he invented the alkaline battery. And it took him more than 9,000 attempts to create the perfect incandescent light bulb. By the end of his life, however, Edison had about 1,100 patents in his account. Experiments can be carried out not only in practice. For example, Einstein was conducting them into his mind, which helped him develop his brilliant scientific theories. And in the diaries of Thomas Edison and Leonardo da Vinci, in addition to notes, there are also mental maps and various sketches. Experiments help to develop useful habits. Producer and screenwriter Shonda Rhimes decided to get rid of workaholism and strong introversion, agreeing to everything that scared her before. Philosopher and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson is the author of a wonderful phrase, "All life is a continuous experiment." The more experiments you undertake, the better. To achieve your goals, you need to manage your time properly. If you dedicate it to what will benefit you in the future, you will be able to achieve success. And what useful habits do you find the most useful? And what, on the contrary, do you think are the most harmful on the way to achieving outstanding results? Share your opinion with the community. The contribution of each participant is important. See you soon.